So we have the summer solstice here in the northern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere on the 20th. And then the day after, we have this new moon in Capricorn. So we are focused on the energy band of Capricorn and Cancer. And so what came to me when I looked at the chart from a Capricorn perspective, one of the labels you can put on Capricorn, or if you just did a search on Capricorn online and you were like, what are the qualities of Capricorn? It's like hardworking, diligent, practical, some of those things. But what I was getting was like focused energy. It's like picking a path and saying, I'm going to dedicate all of my efforts, all of my time, all of my focus here. And that was the overarching energy I was getting with this new moon in the chart when I looked at it. So I look at these, if you're familiar and you've watched or listened to my videos, I look at these zodiac signs as energy bands. And so we're working on, or we're focused on the Capricorn Cancer energy band. And so when I think of Cancer, what came to mind is I have this Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and there's a yin card, and it's just a bowl. It's receiving whatever it is, whatever there is to receive, it's receiving. It's allowing things to come to you. And then the bowl itself would be representative of Capricorn. It's like, what is the structure? It's like I'm receiving stuff, but now I need to, in this reality, to be able to structure it in a way that's beneficial, in a way that helps, in a way that provides some type of structure. And so that's the overarching energy that I feel here. And there's a lot more, which I'll get into when I share the chart. So let me go ahead and pull up the chart for this new moon in Capricorn and see what else wants to come through. So we have this new moon in Capricorn taking place on June 21st at 6:08 p.m. here in the Pacific Northwest of the United States. And the representation of that new moon is right here with the sun opposing the moon. And I will certainly pull in Venus and Mercury into the equation because they are blending energies with the sun, which is shining its light on this new moon in Capricorn. And so without even looking at the aspects here, a couple things aside from what I already spoke about in the beginning jumped out to me. The moon being out of bounds jumped out to me over here, which simply means something out of the ordinary, something. What I'm getting here is not so much, it's more of an energy for you personally of doing something that is out of the norm for you, like going down a path very similar to the energy I was getting when I opened this reading, is picking a path or going down a path, which provides a new perspective, a new way of looking at things, a new opportunity. That type of energy is what I'm getting with this out of bounds symbolism here with this new moon. And then the other thing, which is not even a hard aspect here, is just from a zodiacal standpoint, I'm getting the nodes of the moon pulled in here, which the nodes of the moon have been in Aries and Libra. And so I was drawn to this new moon in Capricorn correlating to the axis of the nodes. So you have Aries and Libra, which is all about you taking the directions that you feel that you need, doing things that are aligned with who you are, and taking that out in relationship to other people. That's, from a high level, that Aries Libra axis. And so now you introduce Capricorn and Cancer energy to that. And so if you looked at a natural zodiac, it starts at Aries, the opposing sign is Libra, and the bottom of the chart is Cancer, and the top of the chart is Capricorn. And so we have this cardinal axis here, which is the foundation of a natal chart. And so taking this Capricorn Cancer energy and bringing it out in this Aries Libra axis is feeling like it's starting with relationships, meaning that Capricorn is creating a structure. So you can think of it as creating a new structure, new moon, seed energy, creating a new structure within relationships, a new commitment within relationships. It's also taking responsibility for your energy in relationships, for the way you are bringing yourself out in relationships, for what you are attracting to you in relationships, and what is it trying to show you about yourself. And then the Cancer part of this is the caring, the nurturing, supportive. It is the foundation, looking at the natural zodiac, it is the foundation of the chart. It's where you feel safe. It's literally your home. It's your emotions. It's your well-being. And so all of those themes, I feel, with this new moon in Capricorn are very much in play here. And so thinking of this or feeling into this from more of a broader perspective energetically, I'm almost getting pulled back to, as we approach the middle point of the calendar year, the energies of the year have been pretty topsy-turvy. And I was just talking with a friend yesterday, and she was describing to me, and I was very much in alignment with this energy of like feeling like you're in a good flow one day, and then the next day you're kind of like things are a little bit off, or I feel unsettled, or I'm in a bad place, and then it kind of flips around, and then you're in a good place again. And so this energy that has been around and impacting the collective has been one that has churned up a lot of stuff, is kind of what I'm feeling. It's like it's kind of like mixing up anything within you that needs to be brought to the surface. And it's almost like this acceleration of clearing, yeah, I guess that's the best way I can describe it. It's not very good, but it's almost like an accelerating energy to try to get you to see what you need to see, to align to what you need to align to at this period of time from a collective standpoint. And so the next energies here are Venus and Mercury, which are blending up there with the sun. And so Venus is certainly related to relationships, but with it blending with the sun there, it highlights the sun, highlights the importance of relationships. And then it's shining that light on this new moon in Capricorn. And then over off to the side, you have Mercury there, which Mercury is like the communication piece. It's the logically understanding things, figuring things out piece. And so all of those energies in Cancer are sending the energy here to this new moon in Capricorn, which Capricorn is saying, okay, great. It's like that bowl I was talking about in this card. It's like, how do we structure? What is the right structure for this? So certainly it's around relationships. Certainly it could be around what you value, Venus. It could literally be your foundation, which is Cancer energy. It's like, how do you solidify this foundation that you've been working on cultivating, whether you're consciously aware of it or not? How do we create a good structure here at this period of time? How do we focus our energy in a specific direction and go down that path, have the experiences that we need to have, be able to support ourselves? And so the ruler of Capricorn being Saturn, which is going to go retrograde at the end of the month, but it's forward motion here, is in the sign of Pisces. So when I talked about Saturn going into Pisces, it's a very similar to that yin card I'm talking about, which is how do we bring some type of form to the formless? How do we create something here? And so that can certainly be where things are like nebulous or they're not quite clear, especially with Neptune being in Pisces. Neptune's been there for a long time. It's right now at the anaretic degree of Pisces. So there's some intensity there. And so I really feel like this new moon in Capricorn is really, it could be one of feeling squeezed, feeling like not quite sure about this path, or I'm not quite sure how to navigate this, or it's a path that I really don't want to go down, or I didn't think I was going to go down, or almost that kind of an energy I get here. But ultimately, it's a path that is required at this period of time. And so the importance here, I feel, with this new moon is to, and again, everyone is going to experience this differently. I feel some energy of people that this is going to almost be like an opening energy where there's a path that's picked and it's going to open up a bunch of other opportunities and bring stuff in that's really good and supportive, relationships, jobs, you name it. And then I also feel this energy of, it's like almost like I don't want to experience this, or I don't want to experience this again, or this isn't quite what I thought it was going to be, like that kind of energy. And I feel like for that group of people, or if you experience it from that perspective, it's going to be important to shift the energy to be an energy of, okay, I'm here. What is this showing me? How can I work with this? What is the positive benefit of this for me? If I'm here, I've selected this path, or it feels like I've been forced down this path, I am here. And so that means that this is something that's really important for me at this period of time. So it's going to be important to not be in the lower frequency energies of like, damn it, this isn't where I wanted to be, or I'm experiencing these things that I don't like. If that's the case, then it's offering you this contrast. It's offering you this ability to see, okay, these things I do like, these things I don't like. And so I'm going to be thankful for this opportunity to see those things. And now I'm going to do the best that I can in this environment as I'm walking down this path. And I'm going to remain positive and be able to focus my energy down the path of the things that I like. And so being able to manage and being able to work with those energies of contrast in a way that you approach them in a more positive and even thankful way, to be like, thank you so much for putting me here, for being in this situation, so that I can continue to refine for myself what is the best place for me to focus my energy. So that's going to be really important if you are experiencing it in that way. There is this square here that's being shown, but it's more, yes, it's Neptune, but I feel it more with the Aries energy. So it's really highlighting the 0 degree mark of Aries, because Aries and Capricorn is the square. And so what I was getting there a little bit is that square being tension. And so it's structure in Aries energy, which is like where I was talking in the beginning about picking a path and going down it. That's Aries energy. Aries energy is like, I'm picking this direction and I'm going. Aries is also an energy of empowerment. It's also an energy of knowingness. It's an energy of, it's almost like I feel like this powerful energy, which is like blazing a trail that you know feels right for you. And so I'm feeling like a little bit of tension here where it's like this path, almost similar to the energy I was just talking about, is like a little bit restrictive or it's not quite where I want to go. But what I'm also getting here for other people is this Capricorn Aries energy is more stepping into your authority, stepping into new territory, which it may feel different for you. It may feel like you're expressing yourself in a different way than you had in the past. And it can create a little bit of tension within you. It can also create tension within other people if their energy is one where they're not standing in their own power enough, and then they get you coming into their awareness. And so that triggers the insecurity or the lack of power within them. That I'm getting a little bit of that energy too. So that's where you can experience either tension within yourself or generate tension within other people, depending on where you're at. And so let me just step back here to see if there's anything else that I feel wants to come through. I really feel this focused energy, like I said, on this Aries, Libra, Cancer, Capricorn axis in this new moon, which is like this. It's almost like the word I'm getting is like this seminal moment, like this turning point, or this, that's actually might be the label for this, like this turning point energy as we approach this middle point of the year of really solidifying this path moving forward for the rest of the year. And not that there won't be some branches that spurn off of that or opportunities that come up as the year progresses, but it's almost like the energy of a turning point. And so I think that's good here. I'm going to now flip over to the Sabian symbol for this 1 degree mark of Capricorn. So I struggled with this one a bit when I pulled it up. So it's 3 stained glass windows, 1 damaged by bombardment. And so that's the Sabian for this 1 to 2 degree mark of Capricorn. And so I sat with this one for a good while and scrolled down here, and I saw Rudyard's explanation here, which is 3 rose windows in a Gothic church, 1 damaged by war. So I read a bit of what James Burgess said here, but when I looked at this image, what came to me was more of a personal representation of this image and not me personally. It's more like for you watching this from a collective personal standpoint, it was almost like the energy I got was these stained glass windows of like representative of your authentic expression and authentic alignment. And one of them was like showing a little bit of damage. So it's almost like this new moon in Capricorn. What I was getting from this image is like showing you parts of yourself or parts of your unique soul's expression that is potentially a little bit damaged. And so you'll have experiences or you'll have circumstances or you'll have maybe this direction that you go down, which highlights some of those for you so that you're able to see them. And it's almost like when I looked at this, it was like you're so close, like you're almost there. It's like there's these 3 stained glass windows and there's just the tip of this third one that has some damage on it. And so that was personally what I got here when I looked at this image. And so rose came to me too, which is one of the symbols that keeps repeating for me more on a personal level. But I get with that rose symbolism here, it's like the rose and the thorns is what I'm getting. It's almost like there's like the thorns are they're like an important part of the entire structure. It's like, so don't look away from, or don't ignore, or don't turn. It's almost like be accepting of all of it. Be accepting of all of yourself. Be willing to look at the parts that maybe you don't like, or that come up for you, or you feel that you've already worked through. So really lean into them, and to Capricorn energy, it's like focus your energy there and be willing to accept them, and be willing to accept the feedback that you're getting and be able to transform them. And that's like this turning point. It's like when you're able to do that, when you're able to accept all of yourself, you're able to be present in your circumstance, you're able to be thankful for where you're at, you're able to focus your energy in places where you want to focus your energy, where it feels good and it feels rewarding and it feels like it lights you up. It's like that's where the gold is. So just accept your entire experience, accept what's coming up for you, be willing to look at it so that you can transform it. So that's what I have for you with this new moon in Capricorn. Hopefully some of this was helpful for you. I appreciate your energy and your time, and I will see you again in another podcast. Take care.